Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय राधा कृष्ण चंद्र, राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधे. जय कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम, जय कृष्ण बलराम. जय निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, जय निताय गौरांगो. जय प्रहलाद नरसिम्हा, प्रहलाद नरसिम्हा, प्रहलाद नरसिम्हा, जय सुदर्शना. जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद् हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. नमच्चार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय. मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय. जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय. गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय. वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय. श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय. श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय. श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय. श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय. हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय. समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला प्रभुपाद. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, 10th chapter, text number 18. Uddhavaha Satyakishchaiva Uddhava Satyakishchaiva Vyajane Paramadbhute Vyajane Paramadbhute Vikiryamanaha Kusumai Vikiryamana Kusumai Reje Madhupati Pathi Reje Madhupatif Pathi Uddhava Satyakishchaiva Vyajane Paramadbhute Vikiryamana Kusumai Reje Madhupatif Pathi Uddhava Satyakishchaiva Vyajane Paramadbhute Vikiryamana Kusumai Reje Madhupatif Pathi Uddhava Satyakishchaiva Vyajane Paramadbhute Vikiryamana Kusumai Reje Madhupatif Pathi Uddhava Satyakishchaiva Vyajane Paramadbhute Vikiryamana Kusumai Reje Madhupatif Pathi Uddhavaha, a cousin brother of Krishna's, Satyakihi, his driver, Cha, and Eva, certainly, Vyajane, engaged in fanning, Parama Adbhute, decorative, Vikiryamanaha, seated on scattered, Kusumaihi, flowers all around, Reje, commanded, Madhupatihi, the master of Madhu, Krishna, Pathi, on the road. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Uddhava and Satyaki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans, and the Lord, as the master of Madhu, seated on scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. Please repeat. Uddhava and Satyaki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans, and the Lord, as the master of Madhu, seated on scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. Next, I'll read by myself. Ashruyanta shishas satyas tatra tatra dvijeritaha nanurupascha nirgunasya gunatmanaha. Ashruyanta means being heard, Ashisha benediction, Satyaha all truths, Tatra here, Tatra there, Dvija iritaha sounded by learned Brahmanas, Na not, Anurupa befitting, Anurupaha fitting, Cha also Nirgunasya of the Absolute, Guna Atmanaha playing the role of a human being. Translation. It was being heard here and there that the benedictions being paid to Krishna were neither befitting nor unbefitting, because they were all of the Absolute, all for the Absolute, who was now playing the part of a human being. Purport. At places there were sounds of Vedic benediction aiming at the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. The benedictions were fitting in the sense that the Lord was playing the part of a human being, as if a cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthir, But they were also unfitting because the Lord is absolute and has nothing to do with any kind of material relativities. He is nirguna, or there are no material qualities in him, but he is full of transcendental qualities. In the transcendental world, there is nothing contradictory, whereas in the relative world, everything has its opposite. In the relative world, while it is white is the opposite conception of black, but in the transcendental world, there is no distinction between white and black. Therefore, the sounds of benedictions uttered by the learned Brahmanas here and there appear to be contradictory in relation with the absolute person. But when they are applied to the absolute person, they lose all contradiction and become transcendental. One example may clear this idea. Lord Sri Krishna is sometimes described as a thief. He is very famous amongst his pure devotees as the Makhan Chor. He used to steal butter from the houses of neighbors at Vrindavan in his early age. Since then, he is famous as a thief, but in spite of his being famous as a thief, he is worshipped as a thief. Whereas in the mundane world, a thief is punished and is never praised. Since he is the absolute personality of Godhead, everything is applicable to him. And still, in spite of all the contradictions, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Thus is the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So very nicely it is being explained here. So now Krishna has started to move for Dwaraka. And Satyaki, Arjun, Uddhava, they are fanning Krishna. And various Brahmanas, they are glorifying Krishna. And it is told they are offering Ashisha, benedictions. So these benedictions, they are befitting and they are not befitting at the same time. So this appears to be confusing. So that is why to understand God, it is very, very difficult because it is contradictory. At one place it is told about God, Yasyaika nishvasita kalamathavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanatha. God is the personality. He is so huge, so great. Yasyaika nishvasita kalam. Kala means the time span of his outgoing breath is equal to life of entire universe. When he exhales, universes are created. When he inhales, the universes are absorbed back into his body. And that is his exhalation period. So this sounds extraordinary. However, this is fact. And it is also told, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. He has entered every atom also. Now either somebody can be so huge or somebody can be small. But nobody can be small and big at the same time. But that is possible with God. He is smaller than the smallest. Ano Ranyan Mahato Mahyan. And he is greater than the greatest. So that is why people are not able to understand God's personality. And of course, if they understand, they'll get liberated. It is very easy. That is the aim of life. We are trying to solve so many problems of life, but the main problem we are forgetting. The main problem is to solve the process of death. So this question is so difficult, how to solve death, that people neglect it completely. But that is the only aim of life. Death we do not want. We do not want any kind of misery, any old age diseases, any kind of disturbances. So for this, death has to be avoided. And how we can avoid death? That is explained in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata. In the fourth chapter, Krishna explains, my janma, my birth, and my karma, my activities, they are divyam, transcendental. Tyaktva deham punarjanma nayeti mameti swarjuna. After leaving the body, such a person who has understood my activities, he does not take any more birth. He becomes freed. Punarjanma nayeti. He will not take any more birth. He will come to me. That is why understanding Krishna is not so easy. That he took birth in Vrindavan, he is son of Devaki, Vasudev, not so easy. So we have to understand in fact what is Krishna's position. If we are able to understand in fact Krishna's position, then our life is successful. So actually in this life there is no problem. Only problem is that we have forgotten our relationship with God. We have our eternal place, we have eternal form, and we have to go back to that position. Any activity done on a temporary basis, it has got no value, because whatever efforts we are putting, the same effort we can put to gain our permanent life. And the same effort if we spend for temporary life, then that is useless waste of time. So that is why one should be very, very eager to understand God. So the benedictions are befitting, neither befitting nor unbefitting. So that is the nature of God. So all the contradictions can be settled in his personality. So because Krishna is absolute truth, again, we should not think otherwise also. It is so difficult to understand God that great sages are also not able to understand. The Sapta Rishis also are not able to understand, the foremost of the sages. So what is my hope? What is my capacity? Where do I stand? Why should I even attempt? It is told, Manushya Nam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye. Who will understand Krishna? So Krishna has told, one who understands my activities and my birth, he will be liberated. Oh, I know Krishna's activities. Krishna was there, he was playing in Vrindavan, jumping in the lake, jumping on Kaliya. I know his birth also. We celebrate Janmashtami. No, not so easy. Krishna tells, Manushya Nam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye. Out of thousands and thousands of people, some they attempt spiritual perfection. And Yatatam api Siddhanam, out of thousands and thousands, millions of such people who attempt to become spiritually perfect, hardly one is able to make himself perfect. And out of millions of such liberated souls, Kaschin Mam Veti Tatvata, some rare person will be able to understand me Tatvata in truth. So that is not easy to understand Krishna in truth. So what is my hope? Among thousands, one will attempt. Among thousands and thousands who have attempted, one will become perfect. And among millions of such perfected souls, one will be able to understand Krishna. Why should I attempt? This exam is so tough. One in millions are able to become successful. So what is my hope? No. Again, there is hope. Why? Because Krishna is absolute. Because he is absolute truth, no pre-qualification is required. Understanding Krishna does not depend on anything else. This is another great advantage. Because Krishna is absolute, we can never understand Krishna using our senses, which are relative. All our knowledge is relative here. If we ask, what is the color of this table? What shall we tell? It is brown. But is it really brown? No. It is brown for our eyes in certain conditions. When sunlight or these white and yellow lights fall on it. If moonlight falls on it, probably everything is brown and black. Then we don't discriminate between colors. So that is why the appearance, it is again relative. Our eyes, under certain conditions, they perceive it in a certain way. So thus we can never understand the absolute reality using our senses. Our senses will only give us relative knowledge. Thus it is impossible to understand absolute truth. Impossible. Because our senses are relative. There is no question of having absolute knowledge. Absolute color we can never tell. Absolute texture we can never tell. Absolute taste we can never tell. I can tell in this way I am able to taste it. Krishna is absolute truth. So I am helpless. But because Krishna is absolute truth, so it is very easy also. Why it is very easy? Because I need not have any qualification to understand Krishna. Understanding Krishna does not depend on anything because Krishna is absolute. So that is why sometimes some devotees they tell ki, let me do something and then I will understand Krishna. Or let me become something in this material world. Let me become successful person, or let me do XYZ. Let me follow some other process and then we will understand Krishna. So no. Anything is not required because Krishna is absolute. Nothing is required. I may be completely unqualified. I may be illiterate. But if I simply follow the path of absolute, what Krishna himself is telling, how to understand him, Krishna tells, Man mana bhavmad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only my devotee can know me in truth. Tatvatah. But people don't choose to become devotees. That is why they are not able to understand Krishna. So one who becomes devotee, one who becomes bhakta, he is able to understand. So thus Prabhupada tells, it does not matter. Krishna has told you, think of me. Now you think of Krishna. Even if you do not understand what is Krishna, you will attain perfection. Even if you know nothing, you start thinking of Krishna, and that is called Bhakti Yoga. You will become perfect. All knowledge will come automatically. So thus if we follow the path of absolute, the instructions given by absolute truth, Krishna himself, then we can understand, and it does not matter how much ever we are disqualified. And if we do not follow the path given by Krishna, the path of absolute truth, how much ever materially qualified we become, we will not be able to understand Krishna. So that is why one should save time here in this world. Everything is left behind. This world is temporary. Our destiny we cannot change. As soon as we take birth, destiny is fixed. Happiness is fixed and distress is also fixed. So that is why entire time should be saved for following Krishna consciousness completely. But these lines are very nice. Neither befitting nor unbefitting. So when we engage in devotional service, we also should think always constantly that we are neither befitting nor unbefitting. We should not think I am fit for devotional service again. So one may think, oh, absolute truth means if I simply engage in devotional service, then I can know Krishna perfectly, then let me engage in Krishna service. So no, I should think I am not fit to render any service to Krishna. At the same times, I should think I am not unfit also to render service to Krishna. So both the thoughts are very important. We should think constantly. I should not think, oh, I have got such qualification. Dull number one. I don't understand any logics here. I am too simple. So that is why I will be able to understand Krishna. Or otherwise, I am too smart, I am too intelligent, I am a great scholar. I know Sanskrit language very nicely. I will be able to understand Krishna now. So this is very, very important qualification. This is called amanitvam. This first element of knowledge. Amanitvam means pridelessness. So one should not think, yes, I will be able to render service to Krishna. One should always think that I have no qualification to render service to Krishna. I am not fit. But I have a great hope that I have my spiritual master with me, who is a pure devotee. So if I follow his instructions, then my service will be accepted by Krishna. That is why Further, it is mentioned among the elements of knowledge, amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, shantir, arjavam. Acharya upasanam shaucham. Acharya upasana, worshipping the Acharya, is very, very important. So I am not at all qualified to render service to Krishna. I cannot think of Krishna. I cannot chant his name. Not possible. But it is possible because I am doing Acharya upasana. And Acharya is very dear to Krishna. That is why Krishna tells Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo me bhaktya prayachiti Tadaham bhakti upahritam Ashnami prayatatmanah. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo me bhaktya prayachiti. One who offers me patra, pushp, phal, water, anything else, fruit, leaf, or water. But if you offer me with devotion, then Ashnami, Krishna tells, I eat it. But devotion is required. Without devotion, Krishna will not accept. Devotion means spontaneous love, and that we do not have. So that is why we are not qualified, we are not fit to serve Krishna. But because we are doing Acharya Upasana, we are worshipping the Acharya, through Acharya our service can be accepted. That is why finding a bona fide spiritual master is the first duty of a human being. If we have a bona fide spiritual master, then anybody, how much ever unqualified one may be, one's service will be accepted by Krishna. And if spiritual master is not there, then we are not qualified at all. So this humility is always very much required. It should always be there in the heart. That I am not fit at all. At the same time, I should think that I am fit because I have got a bona fide spiritual master. So thus both the contradictions can be settled in the service of Krishna. But if there is little feeling, oh yes, I can render service to Krishna now. I have got advanced, I have got sense control, I have got mind control. I am able to preach Krishna consciousness. If there is little pride, now book marathon is coming. So practically we can apply all these things very easily. Little bit if I think I am a good book distributor, then Krishna will show you how nice you are. So that is why practical devotional service is required for realization of the principles of Krishna consciousness. So if there is little bit pride, then Krishna will never accept our service. Amanitvam, humility is very much important. That is why Trinadapi Sunijena Taro Reva Saishna. It is very, very important. Humbler than the grass, tolerant than the tree. Devotee should not cause agitation in anybody's mind, and devotee also should not be agitated because of anybody else. Humbler than grass, tolerant than tree. Why do I get disturbed? Because I think I am master. Why he is behaving like this towards me? It is because of lack of servant attitude that we become disturbed. And it is very, very important to have completely undisturbed mind to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra constantly. So only when we think I am servant of servant of servant of servant, servant of everyone, then it is possible to remain in an undisturbed mind. Servant means he is meant to take scolding, he is meant to take sometimes unfair behavior, unjust behavior. He is never meant to reply. Bhrityaschottara dayakaha. Bhritya, servant, is never supposed to reply back to his master. So in this way, when we practice humility, this attracts the attention of spiritual master and Krishna. So this is very, very important qualification. All the disturbance is because we are acting against our constitutional position. That is why to explain our constitutional position, Krishna has dedicated entire chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Whole world does not know this. We have got very nice Boeing plane and we are using it in JVLR. So if you use a nice Boeing to drive in JVLR, JVLR is busy Mumbai street. Sometimes in the morning, it takes us 1 hour just to cross this 1 kilometer span. Very busy road. So if you take a Boeing and go to the road, then you will tell what is the design. And such big wings they have created, no use. No, wings are useful when you know how to use that machine nicely. Otherwise, we will tell that they are of no use. In a similar way, I'm sorry, I lost the train of thought, what we are discussing. Why we came to this Boeing? Yes, yes. Why this example we discussed? Yes, yes, very important. Actually, I've had a night out yesterday, so my brain has become very slow. Yes, so the whole world does not know. That is why Krishna has dedicated entire chapter. We are acting against our constitutional position. So plane's constitutional position is to fly in there and not to run on the road. If we use a plane to run on the road, we'll meet frustration. We will think design is not proper. In a similar way, the world is not improper. The only problem is we are not acting in our constitutional position. World is not illusion. We are illusioned about our position in this world. What is my constitutional position? So that is why one chapter is dedicated to explain our constitutional position. That is nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. Purush and Prakriti. So by nature we are Prakriti. Krishna is told in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Bhumi rapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankaritiyam me bhinna prakritir ashtadha. Prakriti means energy. Earth, air, water, fire, sky, these are my separated energy. Bhinna prakritir ashtadha. Apareyam itastu anyam prakritim vidhi me param. So there is another energy which is superior to these gross elements, and that is Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho. That is the living entity, spirit soul. That is also Prakriti. What is the meaning of Prakriti? Which is enjoyed. And Purush means enjoyer. So we are enjoyed or predominated. And Krishna is Purush or predominator. So when predominated wants to act as predominator, then there is chaos. Just like the servants in the house, they are predominated. Servant is also living in the same house as the owner of the house. Same expensive, very, very expensive, posh house they are living in. They are sleeping on the same bed. Mostly master is out. They are only in the house. They are enjoying such a big palatial house. And they can continue to enjoy that as long as they understand I am Prakriti. I am predominated. I am supposed to follow the instructions of master. The day they start thinking, this is my house, I want to enjoy, then they will be removed. Rich man's cook will enjoy the same food. He will eat the same food what the rich man is eating. But he should cook according to desire of the rich man. If he thinks, no, let me cook this thing for my pleasure, then he will be removed. So this is our position. Just like in any company, the proprietor of the firm is Purush. He is the enjoyer or predominator. And the employees are predominated or enjoyed. It does not mean enjoyed is tortured. Enjoyed also enjoys. But when it participates to fulfill the desire of enjoyer, the predominator and predominated, both of them enjoy, correct? We are eager, sir, make me predominator in your company. Yes, what is this placement? We are eager to become predominated. Give me order, sir, give me order. I'll work for you 10 hours every day, 12 hours also I'll work. From home I'll work, from office I'll work. Make me predominated. So people are so eager to become predominated. So employee is satisfied, correct? And employer is also satisfied. This is our relationship with God. That we are predominated. We are always supposed to think how to please God, how to please God, how to give satisfaction to God, and then we'll be automatically satisfied. Here, what is the mentality? I am always thinking how to satisfy myself, how to enjoy, how to enjoy. Nobody bothers to think about God. There is no knowledge even what to speak of thinking of satisfying God. People don't even know what is God. Great calamity has been created by impersonalists. Krishna has directly told in Bhagavad Gita, surrender unto me. They will tell, no, not to Krishna, to something within Krishna you have to surrender. They don't know. Dehi dehe vibhedoyam neshware vidyate kvachit. In the Ishwar, dehi deha. Deha means body, dehi means dweller of the body. Vibhedo ayam. The difference between dweller of the body and the body, na vidyate, does not exist in Ishvara, in the Supreme Controller. This is told in the Vedas. We do not want this covering over us, but we have to accept. Why? Because I am not the controller. When will I take birth? When will I die? It is not in my control. But one who is supreme controller, why he will take this body? Filthy body of pus, mucus, bile. Why he will take such a body? If he is taking means he is not the controller. So the supreme controller, he will not take this nasty body. You have to take bath 2-3 times in a day. There are 9 holes, all the holes emanate dirt. Why he will take such a body? So that is why it is common sense. Just see, it is simple sense. If he is controller, why he'll take such a filthy body over himself? But it does not strike. So actually entire Krishna consciousness spiritual life is common sense. But because we are very much heavily influenced by illusion, we are not able to understand these facts. So in Supreme Lord, there is no difference between body. So Krishna is told directly, but impersonalists are telling, no, don't surrender to Krishna. Someone, the God is within Krishna. He was speaking through the body of Krishna. You should surrender into that impersonal thing. So this has created calamity in the life of people. So thus, the Supreme Lord, Absolute Truth, God is a person. Impersonal aspect is also dependent on the personal aspect. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Brahma Jyoti, it is situated on me. Krishna is the basis, the personality of Krishna is the basis of his impersonal feature. Impersonal feature is also fact. But that impersonal feature, Krishna has clearly told, Pratishtha, I am the Pratishtha of impersonal feature, Brahma Jyoti. So God is a person, He is supreme enjoyer. We are meant just to serve God. When I think I am master, that is called illusion. Servant may drink and he may tell, I am master of this house. Yes. Who is nobody is I am master. He is an illusion. In a similar way, thinking that I am enjoyer, this is illusion in this world. I am not enjoyer. If we see our position also, we are meant to serve. Who is free here? Nobody is free. Everybody is engaged in serving somebody. Is it possible for anyone to live without service? Is it possible? No. मैं जोरू का गुलाम बन के रहूंगा. गुलाम बनना है, servant is telling. I'll become servant of my boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse. You have to become. Otherwise, you will not be getting your carnal satisfaction. So thus, we have to become servant if we need satisfaction. The president also has to become servant of the voters. Yes, I'll give you liquor, I'll give you blanket, I'll give you whatever you want. You vote for me. Businessman is also servant of the customers. Everyone is servant. Otherwise, Prabhupada tells typically people keep dog and serve the dog. So yesterday I met my friend, college friend. A very enthusiastic dog he has. And what is the name of the dog? Yuvi. Yuvraj. It is not just name. He is actually Yuvraj. We have to serve him like servants. So that is fact. Dog is passing stool and you're standing in attention. Okay, sir, I'm standing waiting. Let me know when you are done. So yes, you have to render service. So we have to render service. If after passing out of the best college of the country, we don't find any master, we are hopeless. So thus, if we see, our position is we have to serve, we have to render service. But artificially, we are trying to become master. We don't realize our position. So as soon as we realize, yes, I understand, I am servant. So I have two options. Either I serve God or I serve illusion here. I serve my senses. Senses will keep on demanding. I will never be satisfied. I will end up breaking the laws of nature, laws of society, and I will suffer. Senses will never be satisfied. But if I serve Krishna, then I will be so much satisfied. Senses will be so much satisfied. I am not servant of anybody. So thus we cannot be free. We are Prakriti. Now we have to decide whether I have to serve Krishna or I have to serve illusion. That is why without any delay, one should try to surrender to Krishna completely, 100% Krishna, I am your servant today onwards. Then nothing can make. So thus we can see devotees are free. Why devotees don't do job? They are free because they are serving Krishna. Nobody else can make them their servant. Otherwise, we are servant of unlimited things. Servant of eyes, servant of ears, servant of belly, servant of genitals, servant of XYZ, unlimited things. But one who is servant of Krishna, he is free, he is liberated. So thus this is most important thing which whole world does not know. Our actual position. Boeing is a wonderful machine. It can fly in there, take you miles in moments. But you should know how to use it nicely. Similarly, our constitutional position is we have a wonderful position of extraordinary bliss, provided we understand that I am servant of God. So thus I should understand my position and I should simply plan how to serve God, how to serve God, how to satisfy God. Entire life, entire day I should plan how to serve God, how to please God. Then I will be actually unlimitedly satisfied. But how to maintain this consciousness? As soon as I see that slice of pizza, immediately enjoyer attitude takes over. Let me enjoy. As soon as there is prompt of YouTube video, immediately enjoy. Let me enjoy. Let me see. As soon as I see opposite gender, immediately I wish to enjoy. So how to overcome this strong tendency which we have accumulated in our heart life after life of enjoying? So their solution is also given. Solution is hearing. Shranvatam Sakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. And not just ordinary Shravanam. We have to worship this Shravanam process. As Krishna is again, so Krishna is absolute. Absolute matlab, there is no difference between Krishna and the name of Krishna. Just like in our country, you see people go to temples and sometimes they stand in queue for many hours, sometimes for days also they stand in queue. You go to Tirupati, you go to Khatu Shyam, you go to Nathdwara, go to so many temples. Long queues are there. Many hours, people sometimes faint also. And after all these hours of standing in queue, just for few moments they will be able to see deity. There is no difference between the form of Krishna and the name of Krishna. So the eagerness, the respect, the compromise, the struggle which we have for having darshan of the deity, we should have similar attitude for hearing the holy name, hearing the pastimes of Krishna. So understanding is not important. If one goes to the temple, one simply offers respect. So in the initial stages, one might not be able to appreciate the spiritual presence in the deity incarnation of Krishna. But still, if one offers respect, one will start perceiving the presence gradually. Fortunately, in India, people are trained. As soon as one enters the temple, one knows, oh, God is there. One will offer respect. Even though one is not able to appreciate the spiritual presence, eyes will still see matter, the stone or wood. But there is training. There is training because of culture. I know, even though I am seeing stone, this is God. Similarly, I should train myself, even though I am hearing this sound, but He is God, Krishna personally. When I am chanting Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna are personally there on my tongue. So just like we stand in queues, we are so eager to have darshan for a long time.
Similarly, we should be very, very eager when there is Krishna Katha. Unfortunately, we don't realize. And more than DT actually, yes, DT worship is also very important. But if there is option, Prabhupada tells, I can do only one thing. I should choose what? Chanting and hearing. That is the way of associating with Krishna, realizing Krishna, especially in Kali Yuga. But what people give preference to? Sometimes in our temples, people come during, for darshan and for some ceremonies going on. As soon as there is class, everyone leaves. And that is the most important thing. Presence of Krishna can be realized only by hearing. So thus we should have that attitude. Prabhupada explains. We are practiced to say that God is omnipotent. Now this is his omnipotency. Omnipotency means that he is not different from his name, from his quality, from his pastimes, from his instruction, everything. Therefore, the discussion on Bhagavad Gita is as good as you are discussing certainly with Krishna. So the discussion on Bhagavad Gita is as good as you are discussing with Krishna, Prabhupada is telling. If we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, therefore the discussion on Bhagavad Gita is as good as you are discussing certainly with Krishna. Just see how significant is the statement. It is as good as you are talking to Krishna when you are discussing Bhagavad Gita with other devotee. But still, if we go on hearing the Krishna Katha as we have begun here, it will be very easy. It will be very easy. You make an experiment. You make an experiment how easily you shall be able to get yourself free from all these designations. So Prabhupada tells you make an experiment. Simply sit down and hear with submission. This Krishna Katha is Krishna himself. Never mind, we are not able to understand what is Purush, what is Prakriti, what are the Sanskrit shlokas, never mind. But this Krishna Katha is going on here. Every morning and evening, I should sit down with great submission. Just like I go with great submission to the temple to have darshan. Similarly, to hear Krishna Katha, I should be very, very submissive. Krishna Katha is going on. Let me sit down, Prabhupada tells. Whenever you find opportunity, sit down and start hearing Krishna Katha. This is the way of realizing God. Submissive, attentive hearing. Prabhupada tells you make an experiment. Simply come and hear. Then what is that position? Chetayetay anavidham. If you keep on hearing, then your mind will not be attacked by the modes of ignorance and passion. You will be steadily fixed up in the position of goodness. Then when you are in goodness, then what is your attitude? Prasanna manaso. You will find yourself joyful in every circumstance of life. You will never feel yourself morose. So when we hear Krishna Katha, how do I test whether I am properly hearing Krishna Katha or not? There would be result. What is the result? Chet etair anaviddam sthitam satve prasidati. We will become completely jubilant, always happy, prasanna manaso. We will never be morose. This is the test that I am hearing Krishna Katha very nicely. Chet etair, this is science. Science means if you make an experiment, you will have a standard output, standard result. That is why Krishna consciousness is called a science. So if we hear properly with submission under direction of spiritual master Krishna Katha from the right source, this should be the result. One should become completely jubilant, free from all moroseness, no sadness, no anxiety at all. You'll find yourself joyful in every circumstance of life. You will never feel yourself morose. If we are morose means we are in Maya, we are in lower modes. Otherwise, there is no question of moroseness. So, Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam means the science of God. The science of God becomes perceivable by such person who is situated in the Brahma Bhuta status. Then one can understand Krishna. It is not so easy. When we hear Krishna Katha continuously, then what will happen? We'll come to Brahma Bhuta platform. Always we'll be jubilant in every circumstances. No moroseness at all. Then evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha. In this way, when we execute bhakti yoga, then mukta sangasya jayate, one becomes liberated. On this platform, Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam becomes revealed. Then one can understand what is science of Krishna. What are the activities of Krishna? What is the birth of Krishna? So that is why we should see that I am always jubilant. I am never morose. And this is possible by hearing. So we should worship the hearing process. Even though devotees sometimes they do worship, they show incense lamp at their house, but sometimes we are not able to appreciate the importance of this hearing process. Are you hearing? If they are very, very sincere, they will hear while driving car or while chopping vegetables. That is also good. While cooking, at that time also we should hear, but that is apart from the dedicated time which we should have for hearing. We should hear, and then apart from this, whatever actions we are doing, chores we are doing, at that time also I should hear. But dedicated time for hearing is the most important spiritual activity. Our chanting is also dependent on that. Our deity worship is also dependent on that. Our service is dependent on that. Everything is dependent on hearing. So thus, this is the most important thing in Kali Yuga. When we hear, then we'll be able to understand absolute position of Krishna. We'll be able to understand I am Prakriti, I am not Purush. I should not be enjoyer, I should simply serve Krishna. I'll be able to maintain this consciousness. And then I understand the absolute nature of Krishna and I become liberated, free from birth and death. Any questions? Very good question. So, it is told that no qualification is required. And then it is told meek and humble can understand Krishna. And so, this is spiritual qualification. Material qualification is not an impediment. But yes, spiritual qualifications are always there. That is why when these elements are mentioned, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, shanti, rarjavam. So Prabhupada, these are the opening lines which Prabhupada mentions. People may think that these are interactions of the field of activity, but it is not. This is the path of absolute truth, knowledge. Elements of knowledge, chapter 13, verse number 8 through 12. So you can read 13.8 through 12. So around 20 qualities Krishna lists over there. And Krishna tells this is knowledge. Anything apart from this is ignorance. So God is telling what is knowledge and what is ignorance. These 20 elements are knowledge. Anything apart from this is ignorance. Yes. Who raised hand? Huh. Yes. Yes. Hmm. 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 Yes. Yes. Correct. Yes. 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 So the question is if we use modern tools like AI tools. So, on one hand, it is good in the service of Krishna, but on the other hand, it can make us dull, dependent, and we may lose our cognitive ability also. So, that is true in every case. So, that is why Krishna and Maya are side by side, it is told. And what to speak of AI tools? Our most important element of mercy, Mahaprasadam. Prabhupada tells that also can become Maya, that can lead us to ignorance. Sometimes, in the name of Prasadam, devotee eats too much and thus he falls down for sense gratification. So, that is why Krishna and Maya are side by side. So, one has to always be cautious. The same thing can lead us to devotional service, and the same thing can pull us into Maya. So, these tools are very, very good. So, if we can properly use, we can preach like anything, but we may get carried away also. So, that is why devotee has to be expert, and under proper guidance, we should do it. Okay. So we should see that we are not becoming dull in a balanced way. We use little brains also. Yeah. Yes. 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 Okay, so how to use the tool without getting affected by it? So little bit will be affected. Prabhupada also was using planes and everything, and it is told when you travel too much, you lose your life. So you should not travel too much. You stay in the location because the body clock becomes disturbed. There it is daytime, then nighttime. You are eating, your body gets confused. But Prabhupada was always traveling. So there is compromise. But for service of Krishna, in a balanced way, we take it. Mm. So question is, what is the logic of impersonalist telling that the impersonal Brahma takes a body which is filthy? Because impersonal Brahm, all knowing, full of knowledge, full of bliss, why he would take a filthy body? So Prabhupada also asked the same question to them. That if you are absolute truth, you are supreme, why will you take a body of Maya? Why will you allow Maya to take charge of you? That means Maya is absolute truth. Illusion is greater than God. Absolute truth, that is not possible. So some impersonalists, they tell that no, it is my Leela. To create suffering is my Leela. Why? Because when I come out of suffering, I enjoy. They are giving logic. Hmm? Suppose we have to struggle so much in writing exam. Because we struggle so much in writing exam, that is why we enjoy vacations. If there are no exams and there is no school and college, there is no use of vacation. You will not enjoy. So I take these miseries so that I can enjoy. That is my Leela. This is their answer. So then Prabhupada gives very nice counter answer. Then come here, let me beat you with shoes, and when I stop, you enjoy. So actually, there is no solid logic. So that is why the Vaishnava Acharyas have been able to counteract successfully all the logics of impersonalists. Yes. Same Leela. Leela, huh? Yes. Who doesn't believe? Okay. Yes, yes. Hmm. 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 Yes. Yeah, yeah. So this Birbal explained to Akbar that why God incarnates. Question is, in Abrahamic religions, they don't believe in reincarnation. So if we talk of Christianity, then we can explain them through Bible only, how there is reincarnation. Because it is told, as you sow, so shall you reap. Correct? That is told in Bible. As you sow, so shall you reap. So if you are reaping misery in your life, that means you have committed some breach in the laws of nature. Now the question is, young children, they are born with deformities and diseases. So when the child has got opportunity to sow anything, from birth he is suffering. And as we sow, so shall we reap. It means I would have sown in the previous life before birth. Somebody is born poor. What is his fault? As you sow, so shall you reap. If from birth somebody is poor, it means he has sown the seed in previous life. He has done actions. So thus directly it is not mentioned. But in this way you can tell through inferential logic. So in this way, through simple logics, we can explain to them. Why Lord cannot come? Then we are limiting Lord. So Prabhupada explains very nicely. You are telling Lord cannot come. You are how you can tell cannot come? Lord is free. If he wants, he can come. If he doesn't, he will not come. King cannot go to jail. Why he cannot go to jail? He'll go. Whenever he wants, he can go. He will not stay there, not suffer there. But he can go there to deliver people, release some people on their birthdays. The rulers go and they release some people, criminals. Yes. Mm. So, for generating thumbnails, some devotee used AI to create a thumbnail of Lord Vishnu, but the picture was not properly formed. So, yes, if it is not properly formed, it should be avoided. Ultimately, result is required. If result is not coming, then we should not use. And if it is, huh? Yes, we can preach AI online. Can you please repeat? If a pret, you. Ye- Okay. Yes. Okay. Hmm. Yes, so there are many pastimes, many references. Uh, the question is those who are in Pretyoni, ghostly species, if they hear, what would be the result if they hear from devotee? So the result depends upon how qualified or advanced the devotee is. Thus, there is reference Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. They liberated a ghost who was living in a temple. The pujari had become ghost because he was using temple money for his personal maintenance. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur chanted and he vanished. Similarly, when Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj purchased a Gaudiya Mutt, so Brahmachari was sitting and he was reading Bhagavatam, I think, and immediately a hand which is without flesh, just the bones, it appeared out of thin air and it wanted to immediately catch sannyasi's neck. Sannyasi or brahmachari, temple devotees. So the devotee got very scared and he fainted immediately. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj scolded, "Why you are fainting? You read Bhagavatam." He started reading Bhagavatam. Again the hand came. Again he fainted. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj chanted Hari Bol and it vanished immediately. So then Maharaj told it was a ghost. It has got liberated now. Similarly, Prabhupada also, he took a house in Lucknow, I think. Lucknow, no? It was an old building, big house, and Prabhupada got at very cheap rates because it was haunted. So Prabhupada's servants were telling, "Sir, how you are living here? The dishes are flying and objects are flying." This house. So Prabhupada told, "I am ghost proof." And then Prabhupada went and chanted, the ghost disappeared from that house. Nobody was purchasing that house. Similarly, in London, John Lennon, one of the Beatles, he offered his place to the devotees to live. There again, the servants were there in servant quarters. They would hear the body being dragged at night and the chains being pulled, and again, this thing. So, entire night they were not able to sleep. Then they told devotees asked Prabhupada told, "You chase them, chase it away." How do we chase away ghosts? Devotees have no experience. So then Prabhupada told, "You go there, do nice exuberant kirtan, blow conch, sprinkle water." So devotees went there, they did kirtan for 3 4 hours, and then that problem got solved immediately. And we also keep on busting ghosts here and there. So we also have seen in our, of course, we don't use Harinam for this thing, that is an offense. But we do Sankirtan, and if ghosts go away, that is good. If ghost listens, that is also good. But yeah, ghosts have gone away. We have done Sankirtan and they go away. So it depends upon the potency of the chanter. If devotees are following rules, regulations nicely and they chant, then the ghostly species will be liberated. So now there is one very important announcement for all of us as we were discussing about hearing. So not everybody is very fortunate to hear because of various limitations that we have. So by Prabhupada's mercy, we have got a very, very nice platform by which we can have very, very systematic hearing. Whenever we want, we can do. In the end, we can have association of devotees also. So without association, we cannot advance significantly in spiritual life. Even though we are advancing, it will get halted at some point of time very soon. So association is very much required. All our habits are dependent on association, and systematic hearing is required for spiritual advancement. Prabhupada explains the only qualification needed to realize Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam is you don't read haphazardly, read systematically, cover to cover, and with attention. The only qualification, only prerequisite is don't read haphazardly, little bit from here, little bit from there. So systematic hearing in the association of devotees, so that leads to perfection of spiritual life. So in order to help all the devotees worldwide to hear properly, systematically, and get mentorship, get guidance from the devotees, we are launching our digital platform, and the name is Prabhupada World Ki. So digital community, the name is Prabhupada World. So I have shared, you can share Prabhu on the chat so that those who are hearing on YouTube, they also can see. I've shared on WhatsApp with you. You can paste the link there in that. So those who are hearing on YouTube, you can also explore it. I've shared with Prabhu, you also I've shared. I've shared with Prabhu also, both. So you can paste the link in the YouTube. So now these Bhagavatam classes that we are having on YouTube, that also will be shifting to this digital platform, Prabhupada World, because we want to help devotees advance systematically. So we need to track their sadhana, we need to track their service and everything. So we need to know the attendance, how many people came, for how many minutes they came, so that we can help. There is accountability, there is systematic growth. So all the devotees who are hearing on YouTube, you can also please join this community, and so that it is sustainable, so that we can reach to many, many people. We have to run ads and do all these things. We have kept little donation amount. That is around $47. In Indian currency, it is less. And it is around 1500 rupees. And with that, you can have lifetime membership. Entire life, you can hear already Jigyasa course, that is the foundation course of Bhagavad Gita, I have put there. So those who are very new, devotees are asking Prabhu how to preach, how to introduce new people to Krishna consciousness. So for new people, 6 basic sessions I have recorded and they are uploaded. You can have instant access as soon as you register for this community. So you can share the link with your near ones, dear ones, in your office, at your place, your relatives, friends, anybody you wish to help them advance in Krishna consciousness, understand Bhagavad Gita. Simply share the link. They can understand at their own pace, and then they can reach out to us with their queries. We'll give them support, accountability, the reading groups. They can ask personal queries. They will have perfect community support. And then their sadhana also can be monitored and they can make perfect advancement. So it's just a small donation, and then they are member for lifetime. And if they are living in Mumbai, they can dine with us also on the weekends. So this is extra advantage. So I hope all of you can explore it. And I have learned marketing techniques also. So the prices may go up any day. So that is why I register as soon as possible. Our mentors are limited. Of course, they cannot take many, many calls. So if we see response is very good, we may expect little more donation. That is fair enough. So you also can try to take advantage and try to register as soon as possible. And it will be very nice. Let us have everybody in this community. So there is a culture. We'll start daily classes down the line in this community. So every day in the morning in association, we are hearing this Krishna Katha very nicely, and we'll have systematic advancement. So first class webinar, we will have live webinar in the coming weekend. So that is why all of you can join and finish Jigyasa course. And even if you have done so, you can go through it again so that you know how to preach, present it to others. And the people who are new, you can share it without any hesitation. They'll be able to understand Krishna consciousness from the very basics, fundamentals. So with this we will end. For any questions regarding community, there are details. When you click on the link join now, you will be shared the email ID and the contact number also, and you can get more details over there. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Chandra ki Jai, Shri Shri Krishna Balram ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang ki, Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.